is it driving? Do you like it? This is the most rare and expensive Lamborghini in the world.
Today we're diving into one of the most insane, most radical, and quite frankly, most selfish cars ever created. I'm talking about the Lamborghini Egoista. Now, when I say selfish, I mean it literally. The name Egoista translates to selfish in Italian, and this car lives up to that name in every possible way. This isn't just another limited edition supercar. This is a single-seat fighter jet-inspired, absolutely bonkers celebration of everything Lamborghini stands for. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this might be the purest expression of automotive excess ever built. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the Lamborghini that was too extreme even for Lamborghini's customers. Let's set the scene. It's 2013, and Lamborghini is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Half a century of making cars that make absolutely no practical sense, but somehow make perfect emotional sense. They've given us the Miura, the Countach, the Diablo, the Murciélago, and the Aventador. But for this milestone, they wanted something special, something that wasn't just a limited edition with a different paint job. They wanted to create automotive art. Enter Walter de Silva, the head of Volkswagen Group Design at the time, who worked with Lamborghini's design team to create what they called a gift to themselves. Think about that for a second. Most car companies would create something for their customers. Lamborghini said, you know what? We're making this one for us. The Egoista was unveiled on May 11th, 2013, at a massive celebration event in Italy, and when that cover came off, the automotive world collectively lost its mind, because this wasn't just a concept car with wild styling that would never see production. This was a fully functional, road-legal machine that looked like it had just landed from another planet. The design language is pure aggression. It's not trying to be beautiful in a conventional sense. It's trying to be intimidating.
Like a charging bull. Check this out. I love this little blinker here. You got your Italian flag, these awesome orange wheels that match the interior with the carbon fiber inserts here. They had to sign a contract with the Italian Air Force just to get that sticker on the car. And to get in, look, you step here, you don't step here. So cool, it says air intake right there, posh.
Purposeful and utterly unique, the car takes massive inspiration from military aircraft, particularly the Apache helicopter. You can see it in every line, every angle, every surface. The cockpit looks like a fighter jet canopy. The rear end features a single massive fin reminiscent of tail sections on military aircraft. Even the color scheme, an anti-radar matte gray, screams military aviation. But here's the thing that makes the Egoista truly special in Lamborghini's lineup. It's a one-seater, that's right. In a world where even the most extreme supercars have at least 2 seats, Lamborghini said, no passengers. This is about the driver and only the driver. It's the ultimate expression of driving purity, or depending on your perspective, the ultimate middle finger to practicality. Now let's talk about why this car looks the way it does, because every single design element has a purpose, even if that purpose is just to look absolutely mental. The front end is dominated by sharp, angular LED headlights that look more like scanner arrays than traditional lights. The nose is low and aggressive, with air intakes that channel cooling air exactly where it needs to go. There's no wasted surface area here. Everything is functional. Moving to the side profile, this is where the Egoista gets really interesting. The cockpit sits forward, covered by what Lamborghini calls an orange canopy that tilts forward like a fighter jet. To get in, you don't just open a door. You lift the entire canopy section, climb over the side, and lower yourself into the racing seat. It's theatrical, it's dramatic, and it takes about 5 minutes just to get seated. But who cares? You're driving an Egoista. The side air intakes are massive, feeding the beast of an engine sitting behind you. And speaking of that engine, we'll get there in a minute, but just know that it needs serious cooling, hence the aggressive aero and intake design. The rear is where things get truly wild. That single central fin isn't just for show. It acts as a stabilizer at high speeds, and it houses the brake light and turn signals. The diffuser underneath is aggressive enough to create serious downforce. And those 2 exhaust outlets, they're positioned high up like jet afterburners, because why not lean into the aircraft theme completely? The wheels are custom forged aluminum, designed to look like turbine blades. Even the wheel design screams aerospace. The tires are Pirelli P0 Corsas, the same rubber you'd find on track-focused supercars, because this thing was meant to be driven hard. The entire body is made from carbon fiber and aluminum, keeping weight down to around 2,000 pounds. That's incredibly light for a car packing this much power. The weight distribution is nearly perfect, sitting right around that magical 50-50 split that makes a car feel balanced and responsive. Alright, let's talk about what makes this thing move. Because the Lamborghini Egoista doesn't mess around when it comes to power. Sitting behind the driver is a 5.2-liter V10 engine. This is the same basic engine architecture you'd find in the Gallardo, but it's been tuned to produce 600 horsepower. Now, in today's world of 1,000 horsepower hypercars, 600 might sound almost modest. But remember, this car weighs about as much as a Mazda Miata. The power-to-weight ratio is absolutely insane. The engine is mated to a 6-speed sequential transmission, the kind you'd find in race cars. There's no dual-clutch fancy electronics here. It's raw, mechanical, and requires real skill to drive properly. Shifts are firm, almost violent, and you feel connected to every gear change in a way that modern automated transmissions just don't deliver. The sound. Oh man, the sound. That V10 screams. We're talking about a high-revving, naturally aspirated symphony that climbs all the way to an 8,000 RPM redline. There are no turbos muffling the sound, no hybrid systems diluting the experience. It's pure, unadulterated internal combustion music. The exhaust note echoes off buildings, sets off car alarms, and generally announces to everyone within a mile radius that something special is approaching. Performance figures are appropriately bonkers. 0 to 60 happens in around 2.5 seconds. The top speed is estimated at over 220 miles per hour, though Lamborghini never officially tested it because, well, this was never meant for production. It was meant to be art. And art doesn't need to prove itself with spec sheets. The handling is where the Egoista truly shines. With all that weight sitting low and centered, with a perfect weight distribution, and with racing spec suspension, this car corners like it's on rails. The steering is direct, almost telepathic. You think about turning and the car responds. There's no power steering assistance to numb the feel. It's heavy at low speeds, sure, but once you're moving, it's perfection. Getting inside the Egoista is an experience in itself. Remember, you're climbing into what's essentially a street-legal race car, with a fighter jet aesthetic. The process goes something like this. Lift the canopy, throw your leg over the high side sill, lower yourself into the fixed bucket seat, and then pull the canopy back down and latch it. It's not elegant, but it feels incredibly special. Once you're inside, you're cocooned in carbon fiber and Alcantara. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed, wrapped in leather, with essential controls within thumb's reach. There's no infotainment system, no navigation, no Bluetooth connectivity. There's a digital instrument cluster that shows you speed, RPMs, gear position, and vital engine information. That's it. That's all you need. The driving position is perfect. You're sitting low, legs stretched forward, hands on the wheel at the perfect angle. Visibility is actually better than you'd expect, thanks to that large canopy. You can see the front fenders, which helps with placing the car on the road. The view behind is handled by 2 rear-view cameras because there's no rear window. The feeds display on small screens flanking your instrument cluster. There's no passenger seat, no glove box, no cup holders, no storage space whatsoever. If you need to carry something, good luck. This is about driving, period. It's the automotive equivalent of a monk's cell, stripped of all distractions, focused on a single purpose. The seat itself is fixed. That's right, it doesn't move. You adjust your driving position using the adjustable pedals and steering column. It's hardcore, it's uncomfortable for anyone over 6 feet tall, and it's absolutely perfect for what this car is meant to be. Climate control exists, but just barely. There's heating and ventilation, but no real air conditioning system. The canopy can get hot on sunny days. You're going to sweat. You're going to be uncomfortable on long drives. But again, this car wasn't designed for long drives to the grocery store. It was designed for short bursts of pure automotive joy. So why did Lamborghini build this? What's the point of creating a car that only one person can drive at a time? That's incredibly impractical, that can never be sold, and that serves no real commercial purpose? The answer is actually pretty profound. The Egoista represents the purest form of automotive expression. It's Lamborghini saying, this is who we are when we're not worried about regulations, sales numbers, or market research. It's art for art's sake. Think about it this way. Every production car, no matter how exotic, is a compromise. It needs to meet safety standards, emissions regulations, noise regulations. It needs to accommodate different driver sizes, maybe carry a passenger, maybe have some luggage space. The Egoista throws all of that out the window. It's built for one driver, one purpose, and one experience. The name Egoista is perfect because it embodies a kind of glorious selfishness that we all secretly want. How often do you dream about a car that's built exactly for you, with no compromises for anyone else? The Egoista is that dream made real. In terms of legacy, the Egoista has become one of the most iconic concept cars ever created. It's permanently housed in the Lamborghini Museum in Sant'Agata Bolognese, Italy, where it sits as a testament to the brand's uncompromising approach to automotive design. People travel from around the world just to see it in person. The design language language has influenced subsequent Lamborghini models. You can see elements of the Egoista's aggressive, angular aesthetic in cars like the Veneno, the Centenario, and even the current Aventador variants. Those sharp lines, those aircraft-inspired details, that commitment to looking absolutely insane, all of that flows from the Egoista's DNA. More importantly, the Egoista reminded the automotive world that cars can still be emotional. In an era of increasingly automated, electrified, and sanitized transportation, the Egoista is a middle finger to practicality. It's a reminder that driving can be art, that cars can be sculpture, and that sometimes the best automotive experiences come from the most impractical machines. So there you have it, the Lamborghini Egoista, a single-seat, fighter jet-inspired, 600 horsepower piece of rolling art that exists purely to celebrate everything excessive and wonderful about the supercar world. Will you ever drive one? Almost certainly not. There's only one in existence, and it's not going anywhere. But that's kind of the point. The Egoista exists to inspire, to push boundaries, and to remind us that car companies can still build things purely for the love of the craft. In a world moving toward electric crossovers and autonomous transportation, the Egoista feels like a relic from a more passionate time. And honestly, I think we need more of that passion in the automotive world. We need more companies willing to build crazy, impractical, selfish machines just because they can. What do you think? Is the Egoista the coolest concept car ever made? Or is it too extreme even for a Lamborghini? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more automotive content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.